It's not every day that you can play an authorized Christmas-themed expansion for a 90s first-person shooter. But here we are. Duke Nukem 3D Nuclear Winter was developed by Simply Silly Software and published by WizardWorks. Now WizardWorks might sound familiar, as they were basically the distribution company for all of these unlicensed add-ons. If you played a D-Zone level compilation or the unofficial add-ons for Doom, Perdition's Gate and Hell to Pay, then you've played a WizardWorks release. Simply Silly Software is way more obscure, and there is almost no information available about their existence. They worked on a couple of Duke Zone level packs, of course Nuclear Winter, and nothing else. What exactly was Simply Silly Software all about? Well, according to a forum post on Duke4.net, the company was partly owned by a guy named Joe Wilcox. Nuclear Winter was originally just a Christmas mod being worked on by a couple of dudes in their spare time. It was only going to be 2 to 3 levels long, but WizardWorks picked it up, gave the developers a short amount of time to get it out the door, and now we have Nuclear Winter as we know it today. That should explain the rush nature of the expansion. It was never going to be sold in the first place, and the development time was very short. Looking back, picking the mod up was a smart idea on WizardWorks' part, since apparently Nuclear Winter sold well. So there's a little background on how the expansion came to be, but how does Nuclear Winter stack up?
Stroke-a-my, lick-a-my, suck-a-my cock. It's the first time for you, so here's what you do. Unzip me and strip me and show me you care. Don't go ripping out my pubic hair.
Nuclear Winter looks like a pretty standard Christmas mod from the 90s. There are Christmas midis playing in the background, there's plenty of snow covered in each level, and the enemies are retextured to fit with the Christmas theme. The assault troopers and pig cops wear Santa uniforms, enforcers have reindeer antlers on their heads, that kind of thing. The assault commanders are now snowmen and shoot out frozen projectiles, which make them much less of a threat than in regular Duke 3D. The pig cop tanks were also reskinned with a snowman sitting on the tank instead, but they function more or less the same as the original game. There are brand new enemies however, which is pretty cool to see actually. The snowman is the first of these new monsters and they aren't really that interesting. As you could expect, they throw snowballs at the player and they don't pose that much danger. The grunts and the groan are supplied with machine guns and a shotgun respectively, and when they die, they drop presents, which the player can unwrap to obtain a random item. These guys keep you stocked up with ammo and other useful equipment. These two enemies are a part of the feminist elven militia, and the plot of Nuclear Winter is that the aliens and this militia group have brainwashed Santa, and it's up to Duke to stop their plans. The story is presented to you by this weird Frosty the Snowman type character. Now people have mentioned the snowman's deformed mouth, and the fact that he has skeleton arms attached to him. What I find most strange is the Duke and these Christmas carolers just standing there, almost like they're in some sort of stasis. Anyway, the first level is called Deja Vu, and that's because you're just playing Red Light District but in reverse. Sure, there's harder enemies to fight right off the bat, but the overall layout is the exact same. Small additional decorations have been added into the club, like a Christmas tree, a couple of vending machines, and new posters, but I feel like more should have been done to make this version of the level more unique. The building that you blow up in the original game is replaced with a construction site, which is actually pretty clever. In Nuclear Winter, more often than not, you don't hit the self-destruct button to end levels, and instead you just get up to a certain spot in the map and it abruptly ends. I find this to be a weird decision, especially because there are 1 or 2 levels that do feature the normal self-destruct exit. Where it all began is the second level of the episode, and you guessed it, this is a remake of Hollywood Holocaust. There's a small handful of unique secret areas, but there's nothing too memorable on offer, and this level suffers from being so unoriginal again. If these were secret levels and not part of a standard episode, that would be fine enough. But no, this reeks of being novel just for the sake of it, and doing nothing new with the level formula. Yes, Hollywood Holocaust and Red Light District are two of the most well-crafted levels in a first-person shooter. But come on, people paid money for this expansion back in the day. To be fair, I shouldn't be bitching too much now, considering that this is basically abandonware and you can just get it online for free. Land of Forgotten Toys is the first original level of the episode, and it's fine. The Easter eggs in this level are more noteworthy than any of the combat encounters, and that's a real shame. You can find Mario playing Mario Kart for some reason. I don't know what Mario has to do with Duke Nukem, but I guess it's cool to see him. This level also features a partial recreation of E1M1 from the original Doom, found in the Land of Forgotten Toys. I can't even fault that gag. That falls directly in line with what the original Duke 3D did. There are two sections with laser trip mines that are visible right as you're about to walk into them, and this caught me way off guard the first time I played this game. Even on this most recent playthrough, I forgot about them and then got absolutely destroyed. It's a good trap, but very unfair at the same time. The next level takes place in Santa's corporate headquarters, and right as you walk into the door, you're assaulted by elves.
What a mess. Holy cow. Damn, I'm good. I'm gonna get medieval on your asses.
This office area with the pig cops hiding inside of the cubicles is pretty well designed, and it keeps players on their toes a bit. I mean, it isn't mind-blowing enemy placement at all, but I need to give praise when it's due. As for the level itself, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but the level after is worse. The back door basically abandons the Christmas concept for a level, and we're instead navigating through an underground tunnel system. One positive I can say is that this level brings back the self-destruct button, which has unfortunately been absent from Nuclear Winter, as I've said. Christmas Village is the best level of the expansion, and it ironically follows on from the worst level. This feels like a fully realized level, complete with Santa's home, the elf living quarters, and the toy factory. I actually like the design of this level, and I have a feeling that this was one of the initial levels designed when Nuclear Winter was just in its early mod phase. You can tell that the developers tried with this level, and they probably slapped the Hollywood Holocaust and Red Light District copies in at the start to give customers, quote, more bang for their buck. The final boss is a brainwashed Santa Claus, who just looks like Duke Nukem in a Santa outfit. His AI mirrors a deathmatch bot, and I like the idea of fighting a doppelganger version of Duke Nukem for the boss.
Santa.
Christmas is saved at the end, and that's a wrap on Nuclear Winter. Of course, Duke It Out in DC and Duke Caribbean by Sunstorm are better expansions, but Nuclear Winter is basically the final Doom of Duke 3D, so I can't be that mad at it. It was initially a simple mod, but WizardWorks got into the mix and gave it a commercial release. That aside, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I am eternally grateful for the support you have shown, and I can't thank everyone enough.